Oh no, this looks awful. I'm just gonna, hmm, I don't really have, I put her on the box. Although now it's just really bright and I look awful. So I guess I could make another video and talk about rosacea. So that could be a whole thing. Hmm. I just wonder how it would look over there if I unplug it. Ooh, I'm just trying different stuff out. Okay. Um, Sorry. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. This feels all right. This feels all right. Like, do you want the cat in the? You want to be in the video? Okay. See, it's like, when does this actually start? Um, After 2 minutes, apparently. All right. So, just trying to decide how much of this I'm actually going to cut off. Because, yeah. So I was just asked about how I was just asked about like yeah, about maladaptive daydreaming. And um, so this video is going to be about me talking about maladaptive daydreaming. Yay. If you don't know what that is, I guess I'll explain it. It's basically you go into your head and you daydream. The thing is, though, the difference is that when you daydream, you could do it for hours, and you could create whole stories and a whole different world in your head. And the thing about the maladaptive part is that you would rather be in your head than out here. And typically it happens because like you're unhappy out here, like the reality kind of isn't great. So you and your unconscious, like you create a whole thing in your head and you'd rather be there, and you just spend hours there. You lose time, you lose moments, maybe with conversations, talking to people like loved ones, and or you miss important details, or you miss getting on the train, you miss just random stuff, and you don't mean to, because things just happen because you'd just rather be there because like this just sucks out here, it's just, so you do it in the car. I could do it anywhere, man. Like, always we just had this joke about like, oh, if I'm a good citizen, but if I was ever put in prison into like solitary confinement or something, like I would be fine. I'd be totally fine because I could just go into my head and just stay there and just be like, "Yay, this is great." But sometimes it's an event, or it's just like loneliness. Sometimes it's loneliness. Like it could be just about anything, but like these seem to be the majority of them. Like reading through Reddit, reading through like some of the discords that are there, and just what happened to me, and Ben Stiller's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty is a movie. So like that tells a lot of how things work, you just sort of go through this whole thing and you're just like, "Oh, this is, this is how it works." Like, you just zone out. This is what it looks like. Yeah, because he missed the train, like, yeah, his boss would just poke him in the head, like, but it's very much a hero's journey story, so, and it's beautiful. It's so worth watching even without, like, all the technical medical things that are going on with him. Because at no point does it mention that he has maladaptive daydreaming. So, like, because this all started with him with his because his father died as a teenager, and he had all these ideas that he wanted to do for himself, the person he wanted to be, and that got cut right off because his father didn't have enough savings. So, like, he died on a Tuesday, and they had a funeral that Thursday, and that same Thursday, like, he got a haircut, shaved that mohawk off, and got a job at Papa John's, and, like, that was it. And so he's just unhappy out here, so he goes and he creates to be the person he wants to be in his head. So, um, my parents are going through a divorce, and fought in front of me a lot, and like my whole life was just crumbling around me. And yeah, that's what did it for me. Is just before that I used to write though, and I would kind of there'd be other worlds, and I would put myself in that world just to like, but as a different character. Like, I wouldn't use my name or whatever. So, like, before that, I really loved Peter Pan and the Pirates. It was an animated show, and yeah, so I wrote like little stories with a version of me in the thing. And I'm just like, because I like other worlds, and then because I didn't understand world building as a child. So I was because I watched a lot of cartoons, a lot of fiction and stuff. So, like, that's just how I see things in my head. And yeah, later that's just what I kept doing all that. And there was a point though that I had like 3 different worlds in my head. Like, I have a female Ninja Turtle, I have an X-Men character, and then I had a character in Batman the Animated Series. And even after a while, like, I got overwhelmed by having like, which one do I want to go into now? For a while it was nice to have like, oh, I could go into multiple ones. And then I got tired, and I'm just like, I have to pick one, just one. So I picked the Batman one. And yeah, and then it grew into this epic thing. But for a while there, like, I was like, I was just doing the things that I was supposed to do. It's just like, because my parents were now non-existent, I no longer saw them as authority figures, and I had to grow up really fast and be independent, like that, without anything. There was nothing. So, I mean, I still had it better. I mean, like, I had a place to live, and, food and school, and but, like, I didn't really connect with my friends so much anymore. I didn't really connect with anybody. And, high school just, it's high school, so it already sucks. So, um, after that, like, then I went to college because I'm supposed to graduate high school and go to college. So I did that, and then when college was done, it was like, now what? Like, I'm supposed to get a job using my degree. That was not happening so well because the town I was living in um, did not, it wasn't, the economy in it sucked. So I didn't really, it was hard to find a job there. So, uh, before that though, like, I was having some serious trouble because I was I was even more unhappy now because now I started to feel like a failure, like, even more so in the real world. It was just my whole life had shattered, but that I'd gotten used to it, and now I'm having my parents, divorced, and gone through a lot of that, and I had moved out, and I had boyfriends, and I had college, and I finished it, and now that it's done, it's just like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to have a job. I'm supposed to do all these things. Yeah, and I was just more miserable. So I would just lay there, and I could go into my head and do whatever I wanted, and it was great. It was so great. But uh yeah, I would wake up. I would just open my eyes because I was never really asleep, and I would just open my eyes and be like, "Oh, it's dark. Oh." crap. So, yeah, I decided that I no longer wanted to live that way. So, um, found a book. I was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I should not live this way. This is not healthy. Like, I need some help. But I was too proud to ask for help because I'd grow up too fast and I was too independent. And now it's like, yeah, I cannot depend on anybody else. Yeah, I was just, I was already messed up in like a bunch of different ways. So, what could I do? Oh, we have these self-help books, the books, right? So I was like, well, let me go to the library and see what happens. So I went to the library and you go to the self-help section, and I gotta tell you, like, it is just it was a lot. It was like a whole row of it, and there was like three large sections of just all these self-help books, and it was like, what is happening? Why is there so many? How are you supposed to pick one? Like, somebody's already like having mental issues and they have to look through this. How do you pick one? So I decided, just like, okay, this is just like shopping. It's just like shopping. Like, if it's for me, like, it'll call out to me. Like, if it wants me to go, it wants to come home with me, it will let me know. So I just started at this side and went through, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna read titles and we'll figure it out. So I'm just reading, and I didn't have far to go because it starts with numbers, right? And I found this book. It's called The 10 Habits of or no, no, it's not The 10 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read that later. No, I had read that before in high school. That is not the book. No, I read, it was 10 Steps to a Positive Mental Attitude. This is by Napoleon Hill. I had no idea who Napoleon Hill was at the time. Sure do now. I know who he is. So, yeah, he did a whole lot of stuff like this. So I took this book. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, all right, steps. I'm like, I can handle steps. Like, I could do that, no problem. Yeah, I'll just do one thing at a time. I'm just like, I'm orderly. I could do that, right? So I checked it out, and now, okay, so in this library, it has a very long hallway. It's a very long hallway. It's just like to get back to where the parking garage is, right? And there's nobody else in this hallway. It's just this long hallway. And I mean, I've been going to this library since I was baby. So I know this hallway. It's like an intimate relationship with this hallway. And I'm just walking down it, going back to the car, and I'm just looking down at this book, just looking at it, and I'm just gonna be like, you're gonna make me do the stupidest stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do all of it. Ha! And I was just so prideful in another way. That would like flipped because I knew the book would have me like talk to myself in the mirror, make a mantra. Maybe it would make me like make a vision board or something and have me cutting things out of magazines and stuff. And I'm just like, at the time, I was like, this is so awful. I don't want to do this. So, but I went through, and I did it, and I am on a cat sit right now, and I will be home next week. So I will talk more about the book next week because uh, they renamed, like, that book is out of print with that title. They renamed it like The Keys to Success or something like that. And I have that version of the book, but it's the same book. Oh, they had to change the title. Is whatever. Is it still kind of the same on the cover? Anyway, I'll show you next week. But or I get pull it up on the internet. We're on the internet. Because I'm just gonna go live and edit this. So there's the other thing with maladaptive daydreaming is that, like, we do things in our heads. So I'll tell you, I have had a YouTube channel for over a year in my head, for like at least like 2 years. I've had a very cool YouTube channel in my head. Not that you'd know, because it's in my head. That's why it's so hard to, like, actually come out here and do things. It's hard to actually, like, talk to the camera. It's not necessarily a fear of being seen. It's not exactly a fear of success or fear of failure or fear of whatever. It's just This it's maladaptive daydreaming. I've already done it in my head. Henceforth, it is done. So me coming out to actually do this and make a YouTube video was like huge. But that's why I'm doing it live, and then I'll just cut off the front and make it an actual video. So going live is actually easier for me because I don't have to worry about cuts and edits too much. I really just don't want to do that if I can help it at all. I'd rather just talk to you and just be myself and just get this across with as few tangents as possible. But here I am. We're talking about something a little different, but it's still kind of in it, I guess. So I took this book home and yeah, I did all the steps. I'll talk to you about it next week, I guess. But it involves, yep, making a mantra because it makes you choose because I couldn't really tell at first like what it was that I wanted to change, you know? It's just like I don't know what it is that I'm doing because this didn't have a name at the time. Well, technically, I guess there was a guy who wrote a paper on it in 2002 naming it maladaptive daydreaming, but I only heard this term, like, within the last year, and I'm like, "Oh, it's called something? That's awesome! Oh my gosh, like, that's what I do!" And now there's all these people, there's a whole Reddit, there's a whole Discord, and I'm just like, "Oh, I should go and connect with these other people, like, and actually talk about it." So, because what I'm doing now is which is, part of it is like I'm kind of hoping that you'll come along with the ride. I'll make another video about how I got through it, how the book helped me because I kicked it. The book, I did everything the book said to do except the religious bit. One of the like step 8 or 9 is to pray and stuff. And I'm like, I don't do religious things because I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. So that's a whole nother video I could make if anybody actually wants me to make it. So, yeah, I really got through it. I kicked it, and but now it's like I have to. I want to help other people with it. So, if you need some help with this, if this is something that you're going through, also hit me up. Go to the Discord. They're really friendly in there, really welcoming. I wrote a couple things on the Reddit, but it was just comments. It was just people asking stuff, and I'm just like, oh. But the thing I'm going to be doing is so I had this great big story because that's what maladaptive dreaming kind of has you do. Because you want to be somewhere else, so you create another world in your mind and you go there. So I kept going there. Like even after I kind of kicked it, I kicked it like the hard parts of it. Like it's not too. It's not. I don't zone out and lose time anymore. Let me put it that way. Like that's what I kicked. I kicked the zoning out. I choose to zone out. I choose when to do that for the most part. I found that when I was reading and like reading nonfiction stuff, that is when it would kind of come up because I'm reading something and I'll just read a word and it'll trigger me and I'll go off and go into that, I don't know, for like 5 minutes or something, maybe, and then I'll come back and I'll just try to keep reading and stuff. Doesn't happen with fiction. I can seem to read a fiction book like gangbusters. It's fine. But nonfiction, if I'm not like super into learning this thing, then I'm easily triggered to go elsewhere. So and the same thing can even happen in a conversation. But I mean, it kind of happens in a fun way. So, for an example, if uh, while we were talking, you said, like, I'm paying attention where I'm in a conversation. Maybe it's not you, but if we're in a conversation and you said uh, something about miscreants, just the word miscreants, because it's a really fun word, right? Can we agree on that? It's a fun word. But if you're saying miscreants, it's probably a very serious conversation. Like somebody stole something, or there was a mugging, or somebody. You're talking even about a movie or something, and there's miscreants. And my mind will go whoop way over there, real quick, just for the moment, and I will go to Pirates of the Caribbean because because I watched or listened to whatever the commentary, and one of the commentaries has them talking about like, so there's the scene where Johnny Depp is in the jail, and it's Captain Jack laying on the floor in there, and Orlando Bloom comes in, and he comes in, and he's just like, "Hey, I need to know where does it give birth?" And I was like, "Where does it give birth?" So the build up for that was the writers went to Depp, and they're like, "Hey, can you? We need you to tell him like this thing," and he's like, "You want me to give exposition?" And they're like, "Yes, but you get to see the word miscreant." So I can just see him like going, okay. You know? So so yeah, I my mind goes there. And then I come back. I come back to the conversation. So I'm trying to really listen and do things at once. It can be very tricky. It also doesn't help that whatever I think shows up on my face. I'm one of those people. I have a lot of expressions because they're linked to my head. So unfortunately, if you are having a serious conversation with me and my mind does go off to miscreants, to Johnny Depp, then it might show on my face. So if you're giving me a serious conversation, and I just smile just for like a little second, it doesn't mean I'm not listening. Maybe it does mean I'm not listening a little bit, but it's because I went there because you said a trigger word for me, miscreants. But I mean, that, like, people would be like, "That's just your ADHD," and I'd be like, "No, that's something else." I don't really like I don't like the whole ADHD thing. Like, I could be, like, neurodivergent, I always know that I didn't think the same way everybody else did. Like, I just didn't think the same way, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but I always just felt a little different. That's why I'm weird, and I've been weird my whole life, and they used to bully me for it in high school and school and stuff, and you know what? Later, it's just like, "Oh," and then I didn't like myself because I was weird. I'm just like, "But that's who I am, I'm weird." So, like, I learned to like myself and love myself, so I love that I'm weird. I like that of who I am as a weird person. So, like, screw those kids in high school. Really trying not to swear. That's twice now. I'm really trying not to swear. But, I don't know. I just try not to swear. We'll see how long that carries on. But, so the maladaptive daydreaming, it is challenging, but I've had this story in my head this whole time. It just keeps building and building, and it was changing as I was changing because the character I had in Batman, like, it was me, but not me. It was me, like, the with abilities that I don't have, but I would like, but it's not possible because there's a whole story, guys. It's a whole story. Never mind. Whole story. Oh, not guys, people, everyone. Hey, y'all. So it's not editing. I'm not gonna edit this. Just I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, it's just a whole giant story. So what I'm doing now is that if you come along for the ride, I'm just going to keep making more of these and talking about how I'm progressing my story through, and I'm using Claude to help me. And I know, like, the AI and the data centers and everything is bad, and artists are losing their jobs, and everybody's losing their jobs, and everything is terrible. But I'm using it as a tool to get it out of my head. I want you to understand how incredibly challenging it is. It's to get it's so hard to, like, get this thing out of my head. I have been trying for 25 years ish, okay, to get this thing out of my head. This is how long I've had it. So, like, I was even just going through life and just doing it, and then I got married right around 30, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm in, like, this intimate relationship. I should tell somebody about this now. I can tell him. I can tell this guy because he's my husband. He should know what's going on in my head." So I was trying to tell him about this because I hadn't told anybody. Like, I tried to tell this one other guy, but, like, it's just too much. It's just I couldn't do it. So, like, I'm telling him for the first time ever, I'm 30, I've been doing it for, like, already 15 years, right? So, it's just like, "Alright, uh, here's is this, and this," and he's like, "This is great, but it's too much. You need to write it down." And I'm, like, mortified. I need to understand how mortified I am because this has been in my head and it's intimate for me. And I'm like, what am I gonna do if I write it down? Like, what's the point of writing it down? I don't know. So it was like a whole week of just like going through it until I get to the end of the week because all this most of my issues like I last a week and then I'm through it. So at the end of the week, I'm like, well, okay, well, how would I write it? How would I do this? You know, like, what is this? I don't even know what it is. So I'm like, is it a comic? Is it an animation? Is it real? Is it even real? Is it a novel? Like, what is this? I had no idea. And I was just spitballing and trying anything and just talking and just thinking about things and just like, how do I organize this? And what is it exactly? Even it was so much. It was so much. So I just I I was even like we were going to conventions because that's what I do. I go to anime conventions. I was working for a video game festival. So I mean like video game music festival. So it's just like I was doing all this stuff already. So I was already going to these events. So I ended up, I go to a Dragon Con. And at the Dragon Con, they have a copyright copyright panel. And I'm like through the copyright panel and I had a question and I waited and they didn't get to my question. So I hit them up on the way out while they're like walking to their next panel because I'm not afraid to talk to people. I don't care. So I just was asking them and be like, hey, well, I've got this story and I don't know it's about Batman or something. And then they're just like, oh, well, do you want to like sell it to DC and lose all your creative rights or something? Or just like, what are you doing with that? And I'm just like, I'm not even an artist. I'm not a real writer. I don't know, and I'm just like, and I definitely don't want to sell to DC or do any of that. So I'm just like, all right. So the next thing I started to do was deconstruct everything that was already in my head. And I had to create my own Batman type of character. He's so far away from Batman now, which is great because DC will not have any issue with me. There's no there's no copyright anywhere on this. It's so far away. Like it's not even a real Gotham City. Like it's totally different. It's all different. So I just started creating this own thing and I'm just like, oh, and I talked to my buddy Hawk. Um, he's the artist for Apple Geeks, which is like gone now, but he's still alive and my friend. And he's like, here, try Scrivener. And I'm like, okay. So I got Scrivener and it's this great program because it's a standalone. You can just buy it and put it in there and it has like cards for characters and it's so cool. Oh, hey Mel. Sorry. Someone's in here. Hi. What is hands and counting your fingers to make sure you're really you? I'm really me. My own rabbit hole. Till I get oh yeah, the Viscerated thing. Yeah, yeah. I was so glad. Hi. I miss you. I miss you. Swear to God, I will not be editing this. I'm going to keep going. I love you. Um, so yeah, so like I'm doing the Scrivener and Scrivener's great. It's a wonderful program. Highly recommend it to like get stuff out of your head, but it's a standalone and it's beautiful. It's really useful to like write all kinds of scripts or whatever. It's for everything. It's a writing tool. So, so I got stuff out of my head that way and I was making character cards and I was doing all kinds of stuff. And then it's kind of like I just fell off of it. Like I always had so much stuff to do. It's like and I'm not a writer again, like I just forget. So I decided to then uh I let it go. And then later it came up again later and I'm just like, "Oh, I want to work on this. I really want to get the stuff out of my head because it's such a great story." and it's, like, huge to me. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I'm a bookkeeper. I love accounting and stuff, so you need all those details. And I really love, like, doing stuff like that and just, like, building all these backstories and everything, and everybody's connected in an interesting, cutesy way or something, it's like it's awesome in my head. It's awesome. So it may not actually be, but I really just put it all out there in my head, and I was putting it into Notion now. So I'm like, all right. So I like took things from Scrivener and I put it into Notion because I started to learn Notion. That was another thing. Like I'm just learning more programs, but it's on the internet now. It's on the cloud, so I can work on it from anywhere. So I thought that would be cool, instead of in case it wasn't on this computer or that computer, because Scrivener is like specific to that particular computer that you're on or using or whatever. So it's just like, oh, well, Notion's everywhere. And then I fell off again because I am not a writer. I could say that I'm a writer, but then I still wouldn't, like maybe I just keep telling myself I'm a writer. The thing is that with writers is that they have lots of stories. They have multiple stories. They can just pick up a story. They have no characters. They studied this stuff. They know what they're doing. They care about word count. They care about paragraph and and acts, making things into acts. And it's like I nothing. So I took writing courses. I've taken all kinds of I took a comics experience writing course. I took it I've taken so many courses already to like try to get this out of my head, to try to work on this and try to just like just get it out of here. And it's only just started to work recently with Claude. So the I was started using Claude a little bit different with ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT, I was using it a little bit. Like I tried to like because I don't want it to write it for me. I want to be really clear about this. The AI does not write anything for me. Like it writes through me and it asks me questions. I use it to organize all my information. I'm not using any artwork. I'm not doing anything. It's connected to Notion so that I just dictate because I just talk about it. I don't have to type it out. I'm not writing. It's like I just have this whole thing in my head. I've told it all these characters. I've told it these stories. I'm like, I got a bunch of episodes already because between Scrivener and Notion, I've gotten it into like three giant phases for this character story. Like it's this giant thing, but now it doesn't feel so big. Like it still feels big, but it feels like there's the pieces of it. And now like I've got it episodic, and then as the more like it comes out of me, and like I can make it more episodic and I can make it more interesting, and I can round out my characters and I can fill things in because it was always so overwhelming to me to be like, oh, the story is just so big, and it's just like, is it episodic? Is it a comic? Do I have to worry about gutters? I mean, I don't know. So I just want it out of my head. So I feel like I have to be defend myself from using the AI because I don't want data centers. I don't want water stuff. I want I want us to be I tell you though, I do want Star Trek. Okay. I want Star Trek to happen. Okay. Like when it's Star Trek, when you're on the thing, you're on the ship and there's the computer and you ask the computer, hey, where's this person on the ship? Hey, can you make a model thing of this thing? That's an AI doing that. So if like we already have an AI, can we make a replicator? Orville told us that we just need a replicator. So like let's maybe the AI can just help us make a replicator and then we'll go from there. It's fine. But like, I mean, the whole holodeck is created by an AI. Like, like we need like if we want Star Trek if we want anything like that science fiction to become actual science, like let's do it. I am for that. And I'm not even a huge Trekkie. I just love Star Trek. I just don't I'm not super into the details like many fans are, It's just like but I love Star Trek and I want that to happen. But that's AI. Like we have to like kind of contend with the things that we want. This is how we get them. I don't know though, because like we keep making we we keep making chips in our phones and everything keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So like when are the data centers that are always this big that are like running like things like AI and our surveillance? It's really the data centers are really about surveillance, people. Like let's be a little more honest here. It's not all AI. It's to control us and keep surveillance on us, and it's awful in other many ways. But I don't want to keep defending AI. Okay, my use of it. It's a tool. It's not writing for me. I am writing it. I am talking it out, and it is like giving me feedback. And it doesn't like everything. I gave it a prompt to say, like, hey, can you take some ownership of this just a bit, so you push back on some of my ideas. It's not, we're writing the story together, kind of like we're coming up with the story together, but I'm still writing it. It's organizing all this stuff that's in here into like words. So it's summarizing everything I'm saying. And it's like, oh, this is great. Or, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know, you should question that. And then I'm just like, what do you think? And it always asks me other questions to be like, well, what about this? Does this character know about this other character? Does this happen? Does that happen? Like, how does this work? Like, does this, what this, because I have holes. I have so many holes. That's why it was always so big, because I'm just like, it's this is Swiss cheese, man. It's a Swiss cheese story where I know like the main beats of stuff, but putting it together is a whole nother like ball of wax. Man, the metaphors, I'm getting away. I'm getting away from myself. So I just I just I'm having a lot of fun with this now. So Claude is just really, I'm working with it and it's just getting it out of me. And I've already gotten like synopsises, it's like I've got almost outlines and just like, here's are the characters that's in each episode, and this is the basics of what happened. These are the locations, and I just keep coming up with more stuff, and it's because it's already in there. It's already in there, but it needs to be all organized and out here, because like if I use Batman the Animated Series as like kind of like a model, so they have a story Bible and they have all the characters and everything is laid out in it. I need to make something like that. And I want to presume that like every animated TV show, or even every TV show, has some kind of story Bible that's created. So it's just like, here we go. This is what it is. Like, this is how many pages of words and dialogue and stuff that is about a 22-minute animated thing. So it's like just trying to figure all this stuff out. And I mean, I have some friends in animation, so maybe I was gonna talk to them later. I don't know what this exactly is. I don't know. The great big dream is to work with Lord and Miller, but like, we'll see. That's the dream. If I can make this so good and so compelling, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with it at all, because I have no idea. I just want it out of my head. I just want it out of my head. So but it all started with maladaptive daydreaming. It's all from me just doing all this, and maybe I will now have a real YouTube channel, and it won't be just in my head. You'll be able to see it, and you follow along, and maybe I'll give more details about the story and actually talk about it, and we'll see what happens. It's just so big and so personal. It's why I don't think like writers can like talk about this stuff. They can do that like one liner, like you give a movie or a book and it has like, this is what the story is. And I'll be like, I can't even tell you what it is. I have no one liners. I have no synopsis. I bet Claude could give me one at this point. And maybe I should ask it to do that. So then I will start another video with that. But I just realized it's been like 40 minutes and I'm not editing this. I'm just going to chop off the first 2 minutes when I decided to figure out where I was going to sit. Okay, so thank you very much for being here. Hey, Mel, I'll see you later, hun. I love you very much, and I love all of you. Yeah, we'll see how this journey goes. Thanks for being here, and look forward to the next time. Bye. How do I turn it off? End stream. Sorry. Bye.